Hey everybody, this is Erica Morrison. I am a mentor, author, and speaker. And today I wanted to speak to you about you're not hard to love. You were loved wrong. Somewhere along the way, someone made you feel like you were hard to love. Maybe it was because they pulled away when you needed reassurance. Maybe it was because they called you too emotional. Maybe it was because they only loved you when you were easy, quiet, convenient. And after enough disappointment, you started believing it. You started shrinking yourself, overthinking your needs, apologizing for your feelings, trying to become easier to keep. But listen to me carefully. You are not hard to love. You were just loved in a way that never truly honored you. Healthy love does not make you feel like a burden for having emotions. But when someone is emotionally unavailable, inconsistent, immature, they often make your needs feel like too much. So now every time you ask for reassurance, every time you express hurt, every time you want clarity, you feel guilty. And eventually you stop asking altogether. Not because your needs disappeared, but because you became afraid your needs would push people away. That's not healing. That is emotional survival. One of the saddest things betrayal and unhealthy relationships do is convince people they need to become less in order to be loved. So you become quieter, more understanding, more forgiving, more accommodating. You tolerate inconsistency. You excuse disrespect. You settle for crumbs because you're terrified of losing connection. And the whole time, you think you're loving harder, but really you're abandoning yourself. A lot of people confuse emotional chaos with love. The highs and lows, like a roller coaster, the inconsistency, the uncertainty, the anxiety. But real love does not constantly leave you questioning where you stand. Real love is not perfect, but it is safe, it is consistent, it's honest, and it's clear. And some of you have never experienced that before. So when someone gives you inconsistency, you mistake the emotional intensity for passion. But intensity and love, they are not the same thing. I need you to really hear this part. Wanting reassurance does not make you needy. Wanting consistency does not make you difficult. Wanting honesty does not make you demanding. You were asking for the bare minimum in places that normalized emotional neglect. And instead of recognizing the environment was unhealthy, you blamed yourself. You thought, maybe I expect too much. Maybe I'm too emotional. Maybe I am too sensitive. No, you were responding normally to being loved inconsistently. One of the biggest mistakes people make after heartbreak is measuring their worth by someone else's ability to recognize it. But people can only meet you as deeply as they've met themselves. Some people are emotionally unavailable. Some people are unhealed. Some people lack emotional maturity. And instead of acknowledging that, you internalize their inability to love correctly as proof that something was wrong with you. But somebody mishandling you does not decrease your value. Please hear me on that. The right love will not require you to betray yourself to keep it. You won't have to beg for consistency, shrink your personality, suppress your emotions, or constantly prove your worth. Healthy love allows you to relax, to feel safe, to feel seen. And honestly, a lot of healing is learning that love should not feel like survival mode. So now the work becomes stopping the cycle of believing you need to earn love through suffering. Your worth is not tied to how long someone stayed, whether someone chose you, whether someone understood you. Your worth was never up for debate. And the healed version of you understands this. I do not need to become less to be loved correctly. So, no, you are not hard to love. You were just loved by people who lacked the capacity to love you well. And that is not the same thing. Stop shrinking yourself trying to fit into spaces that dishonor you. Stop blaming yourself for needing consistency, honesty, and care. Because the right love will never require you to abandon yourself just to keep it. And the woman you're becoming now, she no longer questions whether she's worthy of love. She simply becomes more intentional about what kind of love she allows into her life. Let's face tomorrow. And I'll see you in the next video.